I think what makes Texas unique to the IndyCar schedule is it's a mile and a half. It's our only mile and a half oval that we go to. And the speeds are pretty similar to Indy, which obviously is the fastest track we go to. So we're 220 plus miles an hour on a mile and a half. So in order to achieve those speeds, the banking in the corners is incredibly high.
It's very difficult. This used to be one of the easiest tracks, and it was pretty much just down to like drag and horsepower. And I don't know if it's the aging of the track. They did change the track layout a little bit, but it's gotten very hard in the last 10 years, honestly.
Since the configuration change, it becomes more of a racetrack that is more of a track position track than it was before. And it really changes how you approach the weekend.
I've targeted a little bit more trim on our first trim because it's pretty cool. Let's go -3 on the first one.
So that's when we switch out of it.
So this might feel pretty long, but then when you lift it, it should put you like at 11.1. That's what I'll try to target. 200 to 2 miles an hour minimum.
No problem. I'm putting all of our runs in the first session. We only get 2 sessions, so very limited practice. And all of my emphasis in the first session is on qualifying because it is very hard to pass. Like, in all honesty, if you can get 2 cars a stint and it's a 3 to 4 stint race, that's it. That's a good race. Like, you were a good car.
All right. Well,
Yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
is there more of a ride height trip?
No, I don't think so. I have to look at where our teammates ended up. I saw one car went like 1 flat and 1 flat. We went 3.5 and 1, so.
I think Jeremy and I are equally as strange of an individual. So we get along very well.
Well, we both have a really weird sense of humor. Well, there's a lot of memes that go back and forth. If our phones ever got out there, it'd be bad.
He's someone that I know I'm going to show up at the track and he's going to have put his best foot forward, and he's a very, very smart person in terms of how he can look at a problem and a puzzle and kind of come up with solutions that other people maybe aren't able to. And yeah, I mean, he's one of 2 engineers I've worked with in my IndyCar career, and I've been working with him since 2017.
Honestly, weird thing, I'm really into flying airplanes, and now he is. Like, he's got his pilot's license. He's actually got more ratings than I do now. But yeah, so I'd say we're really friendly. It's not like we hang out every day, but our working relationship is really, really good.
There's obviously been highs and lows, but ultimately, I feel like we still have a huge amount of trust in each other, and the relationship is still strong, and we still have a lot that we want to accomplish.
All right, so if we're going to do this real fast, it'll just be talking about qualifying, what you tried, why you think it'll work or not work, and where you're going to go from there.
The last quality run I was on my own completely, and second lap in turn 2 the car just was sliding and I couldn't stay much to the left, so felt like, yeah, balance is okay. On long run, it was mainly the first set of tires, but when I was getting close to people in 2, the front washout was really bad.
I think for me going into qualifying, I wouldn't be afraid to just take all of the rear wing out and everything off and just go. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
All right, 27, you guys almost had a clear run until the 15 came out.
Yeah, I mean, the car's great. I think we started out with understeer, and there's a little grab hit peak wheel angle in turn 1, but we think that's from having too much wheel angle. We did a rear or a spring split change that was really good in reducing understeer, but we have a suspicion that it went slower.
Where did it reduce understeer?
Mid-exit.
He had a very small grab on the third run on tires, second run on tires, entering 1, so we did that, figuring it would help that. It did. He thought the understeer was the same. It looked pretty similar, but we went like a 215 something in race power pretty much by ourselves. Like,
Qualifying here is, I would say, in the top 3 most important tracks we go to. Having an idea of how much we can trim and know what we can really, the maximum or how aggressive we can be in terms of the minimum downforce that we can do in qualifying is going to be important to learn in practice. And with 24 cars on track, that's going to be a challenge.
XPEL 375 qualified for tomorrow's race from Texas Motor Speedway. Keep an eye on the run of Alexander Rossi as he takes the green flag. We'll check him in jQuery.
Hey, Alexander Rossi, not a lot of hand movement. That car is planted, Mark, out of turn 4.
Yeah, steering wheel pretty stable as he works his way through 3 and 4. Checkered flag flies. Lap number 2. Boy, you can't get much more consistent than that. A 2:24.63 and a 2:24.53. 2-lap average 2:24.58 for Alexander Rossi.
Everyone going to be focused on looking for race setups and get those cars as fast and as stable as possible to go racing tomorrow under the Texas sun.
Alexander Rossi is out of his car. You know, that looked like a super consistent run. How much speed was left in that car? Did you guys get everything you could out of it?
We took everything out that I think we could. So, yeah, the balance of the car's been great all day. I think the speed's okay. I don't think it's exceptional, but I think the balance is good, and I think the car will race really well.
Do you anticipate that we're going to be able to see the typical Alexander Rossi outside line racing tomorrow night, or do we not know that yet?
If you give me a quarter of a lane, I'll take it, man. It's just it hasn't really been there in the past, and I think the past 2 years we've struggled to have a decent race car here. I think this is the most confident I've been through practice and qualifying with the 27 car. So we'll wait and see what this afternoon brings. I think IndyCar doing this session to try and bring in lane 2 is a great thing. Whether it's enough and does anything, I don't know.
All right, best of luck.
Thank you.
Alexander Rossi.
because we were happiest with it in the past, and we were happy with the changes now. Because I don't feel like our entry is as bad now. Like it was easy trim.
Yeah. No, you're absolutely right. The entry is not a thing. But with lifting, it'll be good. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing, right? We've always, like, yeah, the entry was fine. Usually qualifying in the past, we've been like turning in with like a lift. So we've needed that security. Now that you're flat, you probably don't have that sensation anymore.
I mean, we really did it because of the race. We were worried about it, right? That's why we came here with all wheelbase last year. Because we felt like that was show bore down for us.
Yeah, so if we can put it at that time, then we might start picking that up.
It's just all things in the right direction.
We're certainly excited every time we come to Texas Motor Speedway, but also a little nervous as well, and reminded Mark that it speeds at 225 miles per hour. This is a dangerous sport, and what these guys do is anything but ordinary. And this is a racetrack that certainly seems over the years, Mark, it rewards the brave. Who can test out that second group? It's going to be fascinating. I'm excited for 248 laps here.
You started off racing toys, right?
So when I was 10. It's what most people do, honestly. You can start as early as, I've seen guys that are 3 years old driving go-karts. Never too early.
We got a son that's 11, and I'm telling him.
You need to go, like, the window's closing. Yeah, if you're going to do it, you got to do it now.
You've never been to a race in your life?
Not at all, okay. Well, thanks for coming.
248 laps. It's an easy 4-stop race, which would give you large windows of when you want to try and stop to do that. You could go on a pretty extreme fuel save and try and do it on 3 stops. I don't think you'll see anybody start the race with the intention of doing it on 3 stops. But then the variable that comes into play is when a caution could come out, you could see it morph into something where it becomes a fuel run late on it, just again because of the amount of time lost to pit. When you lose 1.6 laps making a pit stop, if you can run a little slower and save a little fuel and eliminate 1 stop, that's huge.
Alexander Rossi starts 12th. Real quick question for you. You are always seemingly very calm, cool, and collected. Do you get nervous?
No, I don't think so. I tell people the day's going to go one of 2 ways, right? Either good or bad. So, we just want to put our best foot forward and hopefully get a good result for the 27 AutoNation Napa team.
I want you to do what you did last time. Mow us down and come back to the field a couple times.
No. Hey, if that's what it takes, dude, I'll win, dude.
Yeah. I don't want to mow anyone down. I'm just getting it.
Well, let's not do that.
You got some of that.
Let's get it out there. You got it in the wrong spot, bro.
A little less.
I want you to get it, but get it more out.
Let's back it down to like a solid 7 in here.
It doesn't matter if it's St. Pete, Texas, wherever it is, Dick Yeoman, there's little like the anticipation before we go green flag racing.
No doubt about it. It's the excitement, it's the speed, it's the power, it's the danger, all encompassed in one. That is what the NTT IndyCar Series is all about. These racetracks, nothing like Texas Motor Speedway. These are the most talented, versatile race car drivers in the world. And Mark, there is no doubt the most brave one is going to find themselves in victory lane today. 7 cars set to go racing once again. Mark, here are the Lone Stars.
That looks like a really good formation as they head to the start-finish line, and a couple of cars jump out of line and attempt to go to the high side. They're about 4 wide as they set up for turn number 1, and the pole center is going to hold serve. Felix Rosenquist has the lead into turn number 1.
It was Alexander Rossi who jumped out of line past about 5 or 6 cars. We'll see if that stands.
There are different levels of penalty. Maybe not. Maybe he has to do a drive-through here, James, because he's on the apron going slow. Is he just letting up positions, or is he going to the tail end of the lap?
That car's going very slowly.
He's not even on the limiter.
He's not even.
Are you kidding me?
He's on the wrong part of the racetrack. That car is creeping.
Talk about going from bad to worse.
Probably gonna get a yellow. We're middle of the back stretch, barely front.
Yellow's out.
Don't know if it's the battery or the alternate. Power is down for Alexander Rossi, so he's going to bring that AutoNation Napa car onto pit road. The caution flag has come out. They're going to have to tow in Alexander Rossi. What did he say, Mark, before this race? You never know. It's going to go one way or the other for you when you come to IndyCar racing. And for today, it looks as though those gremlins have struck for Alexander Rossi.
Here we are, yet again, talking to you in the first few laps of a race. What do you make of the luck that you've had here in the last couple of years?
Well, at least we saw the green flag, so that's cool. I mean, it's at this point, like, what do you say? It is what it is. I think the car was amazing. I think the Napa AutoNation boys did a wonderful job. Like, all weekend, it's been really nice to drive. The green flag call was a little bit ambitious, so we had that penalty, but we were giving the spots back anyways through the engine cutting. But it's a shame because I think the car was fast. I think it was a really good car. I think we had a good idea of how we were going to go forward in the race, and to not get that opportunity it's pretty sad.
Thanks, Alex. Sorry.
I think it's human nature to always question, okay, so what could I have done differently, or what should I be doing differently? And it's easy to get caught up, and that can be a slippery slope as well.
Do you ever actually stop and wonder which racing god it was you offended? Because if it's not for bad luck, you've had no luck at all.
That's life, man. It's the way it goes.
In motorsports, there's so many different variables and so many different things. At one point, you just have to rely on, I know that Jeremy is excellent at what he does. I know the team is more than capable of winning races and contesting for a championship. I know that I haven't forgotten how to drive a race car, and race cars are still a race car. It's 4 wheels and an engine. Everyone just needs to go do that, right? And ultimately, nothing stays this way forever. Like, life is it ebbs and flows. There's peaks and valleys, and you just got to keep working through it and find motivation in defeat.